Mario's had his fair share of enemies throughout the years, from facing off against his arch nemesis Bowser and his Kooplings to having his encounters with enemies like King Bob-omb and Gooper Blooper. Not all of Mario's enemies are on the same playing grounds though. Some are more sinister than others. We are going to take a look at who the evilest villain Mario has had to face off against. To do this, we need to first take a look at all the villains Mario's had throughout his history, and then narrow down that list. Mario's been on a lot of adventures. He saved the Mushroom Kingdom countless times in various styles, from 2D side-scrollers to going on adventures with his brother Luigi to even saving the world of paper beings. Mario has proven himself to be a true hero to the Mushroom Kingdom, and without his efforts, there wouldn't be a Mushroom Kingdom. Even some of his enemies rely on him. Believe it or not, Mario even teamed up with Bowser a few times to save the Mushroom Kingdom from a great evil. Bowser is supposed to be the king of evil where he comes from, but he definitely doesn't wear that crown. If I learned anything from watching anime, one thing that makes a great villain is their ability to diabolically plan. A good villain is capable of being able to manipulate you with their charm, who make you believe that they are there to help when in actuality they are trying to cause great harm or ruin. For example, take Thanos. He went around the universe, wiping out half of all living beings in what he believed to be for the greater good. Thanos wasn't doing it because he was thrilled about killing, but rather he saw it as an obligation that was placed on his shoulders that he had to carry out for the greater good of the universe. Not all diabolical villains have heroic motives though. For example, take the likes of Cell from Dragon Ball Z. He was very cautious and sneaky when it came to achieving his main goal of perfection. He stopped at nothing to make it happen. Killing innocent people and destroying whole cities were all fueled by his vanity. He craved power to aid him in his main objective, which was to kill Goku. But once he attained the perfect form he had long desired, he gave up on wanting to kill Goku. Rather, he set his mind to showing off and testing his new powers, which was driven by his arrogance and narcissism, which ultimately led to his own demise. Now, with all that being said, I'm just going to go ahead and eliminate all the enemies and villains who appear in any Mario games who aren't final bosses, including Bowser. You might wonder, why Bowser? Even Bowser? Yes, even Bowser. Although Bowser holds the record for being Mario's most reoccurring rival, he's barely a villain when compared to the likes of Fawful, Count Bleck, or Cackletta. He isn't the smartest, he's quite easygoing sometimes, and certainly not the most powerful. Plus, he's in love with Peach. He's not intimidating. Sure, I'll agree, when I think of a Mario villain, Bowser immediately pops to mind. But that doesn't make him the evilest villain the Mushroom Kingdom has ever seen. He appears so often that you just get used to him. Sure, Bowser can be cunning sometimes, like when he attempted to use the Dream Stone from Mario and Luigi Dream Team to erase the Mario Bros from existence. But in reality, Bowser just seems to hate Mario because he gets in the way of his love for Princess Peach. If it weren't for Mario, Bowser and Peach would live happily ever after in the Mushroom Kingdom. Although he is evil, I wouldn't agree with him being the evilest villain the Mushroom Kingdom has ever seen. So let's talk about King Boo. King Boo is a mastermind. King Boo is so good at being evil, he's the only villain who's been successful at kidnapping Mario a few times. However, his hatred isn't directed towards Mario, but rather Luigi. Unlike Bowser, King Boo doesn't want to conquer the Mushroom Kingdom and kidnap the princess. Rather, he desires to destroy reality just to get his revenge on Luigi. He subjugated all the ghosts to his command to aid him on his mission. King Boo is clever and powerful, he's cold and sadistic, and he is determined to seek his revenge. However, just because his motives are to seek revenge on Luigi, I wouldn't classify him as the most wicked villain in the Mario universe. It's just some personal beef between him and the Italian plumber. He's an exciting boss, he looks and sounds amazing, and he makes for a cute plushie. Sorry King Boo, but you're not the guy. Next up, let's look at Cackletta. She's always terrified me since I was a kid. Something about witches, man. She's an evil witch from the Bean Kingdom. She's very selfish and desires power. Her wish is to be so powerful that she can conquer the Bean Kingdom and then the Mushroom Kingdom afterwards. Surprisingly, she almost succeeds. Cackletta is also the master of one of the most notorious villains the Mushroom Kingdom has ever seen, Fawful. If it weren't for Fawful, her trusty sidekick, saving her multiple times, Cackletta would have been stopped in her track for power. She's a wicked witch who only shows compassion to her minion Fawful, and she does whatever she wants. She stole the princess's voice to awaken the Beanstar for her gain. She even destroyed the Bean Castle, which is the capital of her homeland. At some point, she even takes over Bowser's castle and Bowser's body. Cackletta is truly evil in her ways, but not the greatest threat the Mushroom Kingdom has ever seen. This brings us to our next subject, Fawful, the loyal minion who did anything to please his master. From a lowly sidekick, to a salesman, to a superstar who commanded the entire Mushroom Kingdom. He did everything for Cackletta, from destroying the Koopa Cruiser, to stopping all of Mario and Luigi's tricks, to even retrieving Cackletta's soul at the time of her death. Fawful was so good at being evil, he even realized that, as at some point he wanted to betray Cackletta. Unfortunately for him, he was stopped by the Mario Bros before he could do so. He made an appearance in Partners in Time as a salesman who sold badges in the sewers of the Mushroom Kingdom, as he plotted his revenge against the Bros to take over the Mushroom Kingdom. It wasn't until the adventure of Bowser's Inside Story where Fawful was ready. He's also notable for his poor English speaking skills and his metaphors. Fawful is a true genius. His plots were so evil that Mario and Luigi had to work together with Bowser to save the Mushroom Kingdom. Even Bowser himself was surprised at how evil Fawful is. His journey for rule begins when he releases a disease called the Blorbs that infects the citizens of the Mushroom Kingdom. He tricks Bowser into eating a mushroom that makes him inhale everything in sight. Fawful is even successful at kidnapping the princess and quickly seizing control over Bowser's minions. He is even capable of producing his own army, known as the Fawfulized Army. He's hilarious and intelligent. He single-handedly takes control over the Mushroom Kingdom as well as the Dark Star, an ancient evil artifact. He's driven by his fury to destroy the Mario Bros. His evil is so great that Team Mario and Bowser have to work together to stop him. This is why Mario and Luigi Bowser's Inside Story is the greatest Mario and Luigi game to come out. Fawful would have been successful if it weren't for the efforts of Bowser and Team Mario, two rivals having to put aside their differences to come together for the greater good. Unfortunately for him, his desire to seek revenge and destroy the Bros failed. He planned and plotted, but he failed. He's a genius who calculated his plans far in advance and almost came close. He truly is one of Nintendo's greatest villains. However, he isn't the evilest villain the Mushroom Kingdom has seen. I hope to see you make a return one day, Fawful. This brings us to our next set of villains. Let's start off with Count Bleck. Unlike most of the previously mentioned villains, Count Bleck's motives were far deeper than seeking revenge or power. He was driven by his sadness from lost love. Count Bleck loved life. He was caring and devoted. He lost the love of his life, which drove him to want to destroy the universe because he thought life was meaningless without her. This turned him into an evil mastermind who sought to destroy all the worlds, beginning with the destruction of his own dimension. His mission begins by forcing Princess Peach and Bowser to get married to summon the Chaos Heart, which is used to open something known as the Void. The Void has the power to destroy all dimensions. His motives for destroying the world isn't known at the beginning of the game, and as the story unfolds, it's hard not to feel sorry for him. You realize although his plans are wicked, he's not all that evil. He has a heart that's capable of loving. For him though, love turned out to be destructive. He leads some of the most wicked soldiers the Mushroom Kingdom has ever seen. Once again, Mario and Luigi are forced to team up with Bowser as well as Peach to stop such a great evil. Count Bleck is eventually defeated. He has a change of heart and hopes that the heroes destroy the Chaos Heart before the Void destroys all dimensions, leading us to the greatest plot twist that we didn't expect, Dimentio. His story is more sinister than all. A magician who worked for Count Bleck, capable of many special abilities and powers. Dimentio is a skilled actor, who's also a mischievous psychopath. He appears to be working for Count Bleck when in actuality he planned on betraying him. He's so powerful that he's capable of creating his own dimension, known as Dimension D. He's clever and charming. You never knew what he was thinking or plotting next. He was driven by his selfish motives in creating the perfect universe. He plotted against Count Bleck since the start of the game. He obtains his information by eavesdropping on Count Bleck and his minions. He was able to manipulate his peers into making them believe that his loyalty lied with them. He only tolerates individuals based on their value to him. His objective was to see all dimensions destroyed to give birth to a new dimension in their place. He pretended to serve Count Bleck. His goal was to gain all the power and control for himself. He was dangerous. Spoiler alert, he was the only villain to have killed Mario, Luigi, and Peach. He appears at first to be lighthearted, but soon exposes how vile and brilliant he truly is. He possesses extreme power and could have easily gotten what he wanted, but decides to entertain himself by toying around. His plan was well thought out. He even at some point aids the heroes on their mission to make sure that the pure hearts were used to stop Count Bleck, just so he could steal the Chaos Heart from underneath him, making him a great double agent. If it weren't for Count Bleck and Tippy using the power of their love to revive the pure hearts, Dimentio would have likely succeeded. Dimentio is truly the evilest villain Mario has ever encountered. He lured Mario, Luigi, Peach, and Bowser into defeating Count Bleck just so he could steal the Chaos Heart to obtain absolute power. His motive wasn't based on revenge or hate. He was a psychopath that desired the eternal rule for himself, making him more cunning than anyone the Mushroom Kingdom has come across. In the end, goodness prevails against evil. He got close but didn't succeed. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know your thoughts down in the comment section below. Thanks for watching.